Here we are in the new Nerdstrodamus studios.
I don't like it. Everything's different.
Oh. Well,
I don't like change.
what's the cool thing about the new Nerdstrodamus studios? We can make you anywhere you want to be.
Like where?
We can take you to a nice beach somewhere. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, this is better.
Yeah. Or we can take you to the snowy Alps.
Oh, it's like cool and refreshing.
I know. Make sure to pack a parka. And, we could take you to an evil torture dungeon. Yeah, or we could be in hell. Or we can be in a coliseum during gladiator times facing off against giant tigers. And, the dentist office.
Welcome to Nerdstrodamus, everybody. I'm Dr. Pants.
I'm Lambo.
And we just finished probably the best time of the year for gamers aside from actual Christmas or holidays or whatever, E3. E3.
Okay, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. But it was a great time, and it's full of surprises.
Oh my goodness, so there's surprises. In fact, if you're interested in surprises, check out some of our reaction videos that are on our YouTube channel.
Yes, because I'm assuming most people know what those surprises are, but you can see our genuine reactions to a lot of them because we were watching it live.
Yeah, and so kind of pretty fascinating stuff. So many good showings this year, although I do have an interesting kind of thing for you. I have a little quiz for you.
Okay, so before we talk about our favorite surprises, favorite games, and everything, you're going to quiz me.
Yes.
Again,
like always, like usual. This quiz is about a bunch of the indie games that were announced this past year. Yes, indie games. We all love indie games. And honestly, what we're kind of seeing this year is instead of, humongous, crazy hardware announcements and stuff like that, sans the Xbox X or One
Xbox One X.
We got a lot of really good game ideas this year. And so, of course, who does awesome kind of experimental game ideas better than indie developers? So let's kind of just jump right in here.
All right, so what do you got for me?
So our first one is, I want you to tell me which of these indie games is a real game that was actually announced at E3.
Okay.
All right, we're ready for this?
Yes.
The first one is called Pastry Pals. It's a game about killer baked goods that gain new abilities as they change flavors. Or a game called Donut County, a game where you control an ever-increasing hole that swallows things.
It's between those two?
Yes, Pastry Pals, killer baked goods that gain new abilities as they change flavors. Or Donut County, a game where we control an ever-increasing sized hole.
Wow.
Yes.
I have no idea. I'm going to go with Pastry Pals.
Actually, it's Donut County. It's the
No,
real game.
really?
Yes. So I guess the idea is that you can control this little hole and you use it to solve puzzles, and as you start swallowing everything, and it gets bigger and bigger, and you have to... Yes.
So it sounds a little like Katamari Damacy.
A little bit, but yeah, exactly. That's kind of what
Instead of attaining mass, you're swallowing things up.
Right.
Okay.
The next one is also the same sort of question. Which one is the real one? The first one is called With Liberty and Justice, a tactical war strategy RPG that reenacts famous battles throughout American history. Or Indivisible, a Metroidvania-style turn-based RPG that relies on quick, active battles. With Liberty and Justice, tactical war strategy RPG, or Indivisible, a Metroidvania-style turn-based RPG.
That was announced this year? Or which is real?
Which is real?
I'm going to go with Indivisible.
Indivisible is the real one. Indeed, yes.
Okay.
And it looks like fun. You should totally check it out.
You had me hooked at Metroidvania
Yes. Yeah,
and strategy RPG style.
The next
stuff.
one's a different kind of question.
Okay.
There's a game called Yoku's Island Express. Okay? I want you to tell me what it's about. All right? I have two options for you.
Okay.
One, it's a game about rolling a ball around that uses pinball mechanics to solve puzzles. Or a game that uses social media to deliver items, weapons, upgrades, and special attacks.
I'm going with the second one.
Second one?
Yeah.
It's actually the first one. Yeah. A game that uses pinball mechanics. It's sort of like Sonic Spinball meets like...
I had nothing from the title. What was it? Yoko's Island Express?
I know, right?
I expected trains.
Yeah. Now, lastly, I want you to just tell me which is the real game. I'm going to give you 4 titles. You tell me which one's real.
Okay.
First one is Gem Punk, Death Punk, Frost Punk, or Love Punk. One of those is a real game.
Where did these get announced at E3?
At E3.
I didn't see any of these.
They were a couple of them were smaller developers and stuff like that. They weren't in the big. None of these were in the big presentations. Yeah. Frostpunk is the real game.
No way, really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I went out on a limb with that one. That one just sounded the best.
Yeah, I really got you on this one. It was your worst scoring quiz so far.
Oh,
no, but you did fine.
I'm just gonna have to do better next time.
That was pretty good, actually.
Wow, I need to watch the indie.
I know, right?
The indie stuff, but. So let's talk about the big stuff, though, that came out of E3, because there's always the big companies announcing all their stuff in their conferences and whatnot, and as we said in the beginning, we got a lot of good surprises. So what were the biggest surprises of this year's
Well,
E3?
obviously, if you paid any attention to our YouTube channel, our biggest surprise was probably Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah, the video is literally us just screaming.
Yeah, well, the video was literally just like a 4 for most of it, and then like, you know.
Yeah. and that S that popped up, like I realize now,
I know.
it should have been the Metroid symbol, but I immediately went to, oh, it's Sector Z from Star
But it was
Fox.
backwards. It was like an S, I know.
But
I thought the same thing. I was like, this is very Star Fox-esque.
We haven't gotten like a legitimate Metroid game since Other M, and I figured they didn't want to do anything.
Oh, and people were totally saying that we made up our reaction and stuff. Like, how could we not recognize the music? If you watch our channel at all, back in the day, especially, rarely played video games with the normal music on.
And in all honesty, I haven't played Metroid Prime 1 in I don't know how long.
Probably close to what, like 13, 15 years, something like that.
It was. I played it a bunch after it came out, and I went through the game a couple of times, but I don't think I've played it since.
Yeah.
So we were genuinely surprised.
Yeah,
That was,
and all we know is that it's in development, so whatever. But another surprise of ours, which didn't even make it during the big conference, was another Metroid-related one. Tell us about it.
they're remaking Metroid 2: The Return of Samus. That was an old Game Boy game.
Yeah.
Where you went around and hunted down a specific number of Metroids, but they're remaking it for the 3DS, and it looks fantastic. But they announced Metroid Prime 4, and I thought, wow, they're bringing Metroid back. Great, they're doing more. That's not Federation Force. And I just did not even expect this to happen.
No.
So Metroid fans are going bananas.
Yeah. Metroid 2 was my first Metroid game, and honestly, it's never really gotten the respect back. And actually, this is interesting because last year, a fan version came out, and Nintendo kind of yanked it pretty much as soon as it came out. And so it kind of maybe we can kind of see why now. It looks pretty close to done.
I also believe that this has to do with years ago. There was a side-scrolling Metroid project that was going to come out in the DS. And it was called Metroid Dread.
Oh yeah.
And it got canceled. We saw a couple of screenshots and it got canceled. I want to believe that maybe this is them bringing that idea back, but now redoing Metroid 2, because Metroid 2 has never gotten any kind of re-release other than you can download it on the 3DS.
Yeah, but in its original form, you know, but it shows its age. It's old.
There's no map.
Yeah.
There's no map.
There's no map.
There's no map. It's like It's like playing Metroid 1. There's no map on it. So good luck. But this one, hopefully we get a map. But along that line, I want to say that the biggest surprise is actually Nintendo gave us a lot of really surprising things.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of surfing Reddit a little bit afterwards, you could see a lot of the response was Nintendo kind of nailed it this year. Yeah.
But a lot of people made a good point that they had a lot to prove because they had a new console out. They had to establish a lot of good stuff for it.
And they have to kind of keep the momentum going because they have a really good start now. If they don't keep up with that momentum, who knows what could happen.
So Nintendo announced Metroid Prime 4 for the Switch.
Yeah.
A new Yoshi game for the Switch. A new Kirby game for the Switch. A mainline Pokemon RPG title coming out for the Switch.
In the next year and a half-ish.
Yeah. We don't know about Metroid Prime 4 Pokemon when they're coming out. They showed more Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Which we want so bad. Yeah.
They showed Super Mario Odyssey gameplay. Which, wow.
Yes.
Wow, you can possess a frog.
And a T-Rex.
And a T-Rex. Give it a little mustache.
And pretty much anything that's like any kind of sentient out there in the universe. So that's the kind of stuff we want.
Rocket League. And Skyrim on the Switch, you can use amiibos.
Yeah, at least the Zelda one that's been confirmed for now.
And
yeah.
And Kingdom Battle.
Yeah.
The Rabbids crossover game looks fantastic. A lot of people can completely change their minds about that game because it looks awesome.
Yeah, so we got some like third-party love. It's a good time. You know, as far as the other ones go, EA gave us a lot of what we expected. You know, Ubisoft gave us a lot of what we expected. But one thing we didn't expect was actually from Microsoft.
Microsoft. My mouth's not working. Microsoft's conference was actually very surprising because the diversity in their games was out of this world.
Yeah, we only got a couple of shooters in the beginning, and then the rest of it was adventure games and fantasy games.
We even got a cartoony platformer.
Which I want an Xbox now for. So this is insane.
But the last night and all the other indie games they announced looked absolutely great. Super Lucky's Tale, that 3D platformer looks cool. Like,
I can't wait for that.
Microsoft, who I expect typically just give us the shooters and all that kind of stuff, they actually went out of their way to give us different things.
And they showed us some depth this year, I think. And, you know, they really kind of need to kind of give us reasons to buy an Xbox now. You know what I mean?
Especially if they're going to release a new version of it, the Xbox One X.
Yeah, I know. So what's going to justify that $500 price tag other than just having nicer looking graphics than most other people?
Which, speaking of that, that was really the only hardware announcement was the Xbox One X. So I think we should talk about that.
Yeah.
Power is out of this world with it. It's super powerful, way more powerful than anything out there.
It's really when you break down the specs and you really look at it, you know, and I can put up a picture right here of the specs. It's really only a step or two above where our current generation is, really. You know, we were hearing a lot of numbers out of context, I think, during the presentation. But, yes, it is a huge step forward for console gaming in general.
And number one, I didn't expect this. It's smaller than the Xbox One S is.
It's smaller than any other Xbox ever, actually.
Well, that's not saying much.
I know it's not saying much.
But it's smaller, and it's liquid cooled.
I am impressed. I rarely see anything outside of the custom
PC range that's liquid cooled like that.
Yeah, so
it's really
probably
impressive.
need it.
now here's the deal.
Yeah.
We at Nerdstrodamus, well, you can spout off numbers and specs and everything. That doesn't really get to us.
No, we love games.
We love games, and we just want to play games. So we were looking at the games to convince us that the Xbox One X is worth it. And to be perfectly honest, they showed a lot of footage running on the Xbox One X, and wow,
it looks great. Yeah.
It looks amazing.
You know, we're the last guys that will sit around and play hours and hours and hours of sports games. But even Madden this year looks great. FIFA looks great. So the realism they're going for, I think there's a certain person who was really going to go for that Xbox One, and there are people who just want that, that real nice little piece of technology in their living room.
My only issue with the whole thing is it's a mid-level upgrade. It's not a brand new system.
No.
It is still an Xbox One.
And if you're already an Xbox adopter, it's a huge kind of price point there.
Now, if you have a 4K TV and you really want the updated visuals and everything, I mean, it is going to up-convert everything.
And they said even going back as far as backwards compatibility with the Xbox 360 and the original Xbox.
It's going to up-convert everything.
And it's going to up-convert even old Xbox One, original Xbox games.
Right.
Xbox One, but you know what I mean.
But it's going to make everything look better, which if you want the better visuals and you already own an Xbox One, then this is for you.
Oh, yeah.
As far as people who don't have an Xbox One yet, this might be the way to go. Because, I mean, you are getting the most powerful system out there right now, but it's hard to say. It's hard to say. But it's still very, very impressive, and we're really excited.
Oh, yeah. What were some of your favorite trailers?
Well, going back to one of my biggest surprises, one of my favorite trailers was, of course, the Metroid 2 trailer.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was gameplay. And as much as I really like the Metroid Prime series.
Oh, they're great games.
I love the side-scrolling ones better. Super Metroid, Metroid Fusion, Metroid Zero Mission, back to the original Metroid, back to Metroid 2.
And even Other M.
And I liked Other M.
He's a huge fan of Other M.
I really liked it. I don't care about the plot.
Fan mail.
I don't care about the plot of Other M, but the gameplay I loved a lot. And seeing a new side-scrolling style one come out, well, new, I'm really excited for it. And the trailer just got me going because I was surprised. I didn't expect it to happen. What about you, though?
One of the bigger ones for me was the Spider-Man trailer.
Oh, me too. Me too.
Just immensely fun, awesome. It gave us all the mechanics we wanted to see. We saw just like a quick teaser last year, and this year we got the full-on kind of like, here is what we're delivering on the PS4.
It's combat. It's using the environment against your enemies. It was a pseudo boss fight. It was cinematics, quick time events, swinging through the city, and it all looks so good.
Yeah.
And the quippiness. You can't do Spider-Man without the quips.
Yeah, and if you're going to steal from anyone to make a really, really great looking and great playing Spider-Man game, then seriously, steal from the best. Steal from like the Batman Arkham series, because it really looks like they took a cue in the first of all, the kind of getting around the city, plus the combat.
Oh yeah, it looks like the Arkham series, which I'm okay with because the Arkham series was great. But I'm not that big a Batman fan. I'm a much bigger Spider-Man fan, so this is exactly what I want right now.
Yeah.
What else?
And probably just the one that gets me the most excited and the most puts the smile on my face is Super Mario Odyssey, of course.
Oh my God.
I know. I think this is gonna set the standard. People were asking, "Oh, we want another Galaxy, we want another Galaxy." I think after seeing anything about this game, I don't think people are gonna care about Super Mario Galaxy anymore.
Well, they'll still care.
No, they probably will. But I think that sandbox style Mario experience is what we want.
I remember like the trailer started. I thought it was gonna be Monster Hunter because they
Oh,
showed
yeah,
the
'cause it's the
T-Rex, and I'm
T-Rex.
like, well, what's going on? But then it has the little Mario hat with the eyes, and I'm like, oh, but the hat allows you to possess different things, and oh my God!
Yeah, and just honestly, Nintendo, they always pull some cool gimmick out, and if they can do this correctly and make it actually like lots of fun, then awesome.
Well, what Mario game haven't they done correctly?
Nintendo themselves?
Yeah.
Oh, because there's plenty of bad Mario games.
Oh yeah, but I mean Nintendo themselves. Which Mario game haven't they delivered on?
That's the thing.
Yeah, they will deliver. I have full faith in them.
Mm-hmm.
So, best overall conference. Who gave us the best show?
Now,
Not
I
to
always have to go back to Sony because they always do a really, really good job with their presentation. This year was no different.
They
we
brought
had like an Indian kind of like Egyptian. I don't even know what it was in the beginning.
They had some live music.
Some Middle Eastern music, of course.
Their conference very much mimicked last year, but it wasn't just because of like the game trailers and everything. They also brought out the live music and they had like the live show and everything, and it felt like they were rehashing last year's ideas. Now we did get some new stuff, but I wasn't as wowed as I was last year.
No, and really they didn't bring. I mean, it was solid games all night. They didn't interrupt it at all. They just went from video to video.
So I have to give them credit for that, but I just wasn't as impressed.
No.
Bethesda, I was not impressed with their show. Their presentation was cool.
It was a lot of fun.
But it was, here's Skyrim again.
Yeah. And they showed us a lot of exciting things. But
well, actually, I was only excited really about one thing, and that was the new Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
But my favorite conferences had to be either Microsoft's because, again, the diversity. I wasn't going in expecting all that, and they kept giving me games. I was like, oh my God, I need an Xbox. I need to play these. And Nintendo's, because again, the surprises. Yeah. I was thoroughly enjoying.
Honestly, I expected to see more about maybe Splatoon, more about ARMS. We didn't see any of that, and they spent the majority of their time focused on games that were coming out rather soon, and only teased the games that were coming out way in the future.
Yeah, and that was
so
really.
They didn't waste any time on games coming out or not coming out this year.
Yeah.
So very exciting to know that. Games like Mario are so close. It's like in October.
Yeah, and Xenoblade is still this holiday.
Yeah.
And actually, the Kingdom Battle game, the Rabbids one, is August. So
Crazy.
A lot of stuff coming out really soon, and I'm looking forward to Microsoft's games. So then, after all is said and done, we need to talk about now, because at the beginning of this year, we talk about the games we're most looking forward to. Have things changed?
Of course they're going to after this.
They are. Actually, mine changed not long after we did that video, but I didn't bring it up.
No.
But I will say that from this conference, the two games that have to be added to my list of things I'm most looking forward to, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Was there any surprise? No. Watch the videos of me reacting to that, and I'm freaking out like a little fan.
It takes us back to our glory days, loving old Final Fantasy games and stuff like that, and it just looks absolutely insane. They have a new anime style look to it, and
Hashtag pants is a weeb.
Yeah. While we didn't get a ton of like battle gameplay.
Oh, it's up there.
We saw. Oh, there's a whole.
There's a 40-minute video.
Oh my God. Okay. Cool.
I haven't watched it yet.
On the original trailer, there wasn't.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, yeah. Wow. Yeah. They just showed us everything we need to see an epic adventure about to unfold.
And my other one, Metroid 2. Because I love Metroid games. And I said before, I love side-scrolling Metroid games. So if you're giving me one on the go on the 3DS, I'm sold.
Yeah.
Day one buyer.
And it's the Metroid game from the history that you haven't played yet, pretty much.
I've played it.
Yeah.
I just have trouble getting through it because it's a little old and I don't have the patience for it sometimes.
Yes.
But this will give me a chance to replay it. What about you, though?
I don't mean to beat a dead horse, but my favorite, of course, is going to be Super Mario Odyssey. It takes me back to being 10 years old, picking up my 64 for the first time, and just entering that beautiful sandbox world that Mario just does so well, and Nintendo should go back to it. So it's awesome. Yeah. How do you feel about it?
I'm so excited for it. I mean, I loved Super Mario 3D World. I liked it better than the new Super Mario Brothers games, which I know are classic and everyone wants a side-scrolling one, but I love the big open 3D world. So I'm really excited for this because I love Super Mario 64 also. And the whole hat gimmick is just also Pimp Daddy Bowser.
Oh yeah.
Pimp Daddy Bowser.
He's a Mac Daddy. And there was like that kind of like fancy song going through the whole thing.
Oh my God, I love the music.
Yeah.
But
and then my other one that I'm really excited for, which I don't even own the console for, is a Sea of Thieves.
the Xbox exclusive
Yeah.
done by Rare.
Rare going maybe kind of back and doing something that I actually really want to play. Yeah.
The presentation this year was hilarious. It was funny. It was
showed
whimsical.
They showed us everything we needed to see about the game. We kept asking questions during, like, you know, oh man, are we going to be facing off against other like player characters? Are we going to be able to discover things and fight against non-player characters? Like,
Can we fire ourselves out of a cannon? And the
Yes,
answer to all of that
yes!
was yes.
Yeah. So Sea of Thieves really kind of shows off, I think, where we are nowadays in video games. We need to have a more social aspect to our games, but we also want those big sprawling worlds that we can kind of like just explore and have fun in as well. So it's a nice, perfect mix of that sandbox meets the online, and it doesn't seem like it's the kind of broken apart version that we'd see in like Destiny or something.
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
not compartmentalized as much. It pretty much go wherever you want, and there's other players around.
Exactly, and you can actually interact and affect each other's games and stuff. So that's what we want, and we're excited for E3 this year.
Yeah, overall, this E3 was really exciting. We got every conference gave us something we wanted, whether it was EA with Anthem or Bethesda with Wolfenstein 2 or Nintendo with everything. Because again, we're Nintendo fanboys.
It's hard not to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was really exciting. There's a lot of good stuff to look forward to.
Even games like God of War, which are a little out of our wheelhouse and stuff like that, look amazing.
Yeah, I'm really excited to play the new God of War game.
And we'll play some version of Skyrim in the next year.
I may get it on the Switch just so I can hold the Master Sword to beat dragons with.
Yeah, super awesome.
Yeah. But that was our take on E3. If you want to see any of our reactions, look on our YouTube page.
Yeah, and honestly, link us to some of your reactions. We want to see what other people were saying about Metroid and Sea of Thieves and Spider-Man and Mario Odyssey.
Right, and comment below. What was your favorite game that you saw? What was your least favorite game? What were you excited to see? What were you just disappointed in? Let us know what you thought of E3 in the comments below. But thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. Remember, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter. Follow us everywhere. But for right now, I'm Dr. Pence.
I'm Lambo.
And this is Nerdstrodamus, and we're out.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, click subscribe. Also check below for the links to our Facebook page, Twitter, and blog. Check back often, we'll be posting new videos weekly.